Vision and Vitality Committee meeting. We decided as a group that we would invite you into this meeting, give you a little preview about what's to come later at our congregational meeting in November. We're going to start by doing some introductions.
My name is Mark Montaigne. My wife and I have been attending Arlington since 2004, and our daughter now attends with us, and we are very happy to be a part of this congregation.
Me too. I'm Suzanne. I've been here since 2010. I grew up in Bretheren Church in Roanoke, Virginia, and was really excited to find you guys when I came here and settled after college.
I'm Laura. I've been going here since 1994, since I was born, and I grew up with two parents with Church of the Brethren backgrounds, grandparents, so it's, kind of where I feel at home. And I'm a senior at George Mason.
Joanne Cubbage. I've been a member of the church since 1967. My sons grew up in this church and were very active in the youth group. One of them graduated from Bridgewater College. I have been I have taken a sabbatical from the church for a time, and I am back and have been actively involved with the church since about 2003.
And I'm Debbie Miller. I'm originally from West Virginia, now live in Washington, D.C. I've attended Arlington Church of the Brethren since probably around 2005, but also visited in the late 90s. And welcome to our informational video.
So, Joanne, can you tell us how the Vision and Vitality Group came to be, please?
At the council meeting last year, there were concerns raised about the budget and whether or not it is realistic in today's economy, whether we have covered all the things, we're doing the things that we should be doing, whether we are paying people at the proper rates of what they are worth. And it came out of I think the discussion of the concerns of the budget and the involvement of the congregation.
And Laura, when did we start meeting?
The church committee met and they talked about people who they thought might be a good fit for the committee, and we officially started meeting sometime in the early 2015, probably February.
And the issues we're looking at are a fairly broad range, many of which Joanne touched on, from the dynamics of the congregation to financial issues to building and physical issues and concerns. So there have been many things that we have talked about, and with ideas for each of those that help to improve each one of those situations. And Debbie, how have we tackled the work so far as a group?
Well, we really came together and tried to decide what to look at, and out of that, I think we decided that we want to look at everything, and that was our direction from the board and the congregation. So we made a list. We made a list of what we felt good about, what looked like challenges. We would have amazing brainstorm sessions and then brainstorm some more when we went home and have other ideas. We tried to just separate a list, divide and conquer, and we each took different pieces, did research, or still doing research, and looked for key resource people to help us with that, and then just would come back together, hash it out, come up with other ideas that would take us on other directions, and so it's definitely been a group effort with a lot of help from a lot of people.
Okay, so the next question I want to ask Mark, because I feel like you're going to give the best answer because you're so even keel. Did you have moments of frustration in that process?
There have been moments of frustration. Dealing with the size and complexity of some of the issues seems very daunting at times. And to be honest, some of the issues may seem like they cannot be resolved in any amount of time at all, whether it's a short time or a long time. But I think if we work towards this, I think almost all of these concerns that we have can have some sort of solution. So yes, there have been frustrations, but I think we'd be able to work through most or all of the things that we have discussed.
Joanne, what has been the most hopeful? What are you most encouraged by this process we've been through together?
I think the recognition that we have three very good assets. That first we have our pastor, who is the absolute best and willing to work with us and to listen to us and sympathize with us. Two, we have the building, and this is for me the kind of the biggest albatross that I have to deal with. It can be a huge asset to us. So far, we have been the servants of the building. It is time for the building to become our servant. Whether we get more tenants, whatever we can do to use the building to strengthen our congregation. And I think our biggest asset is our congregation. The people of this church are fantastic. We all have our moments where we complain and we, whine and so on. But basically, we all come together and we agree and we are willing to work together. And some of the things that we have done over the recent years are, phenomenal. And I want to see that to continue.
I think you touched a little bit on this. I'll ask a couple people and try and get some different ideas. How would you describe the state of the congregation? Why don't we ask Suzanne?
Tricky looking over there. That's one of the things I'm most hopeful about. I agree with Joanne. It's such a vital congregation, and it's something that comes up all the time in our endless talking. It's just how amazed we are at how people come together and how respectful they are of each other, and just how much energy everyone puts into, this mission we have of following Jesus together. And I think that is really what's going to carry us through. So the state of the congregation, to me, is something that is always just re-energizing me, and that I think is going to, help us set a really amazing vision for, helping to grow God's kingdom on earth.
And how about Debbie? What do you think about this?
What was the question?
How would you describe the state of the congregation?
Oh, right. Well, I agree with everything I've heard so far. We keep hearing the word vital congregation, and that is definitely true. I would say that it feels like we're really at a turning point, and some of that is, I think, internal, because we're just at a place where maybe we're getting ready to have some staff changes down the road, or we're just aging. People are aging, of course, everyone is. And so, but also we're getting new people in the community, but then also we're transitioning because the world is sort of transitioning on us. And so, even if we wanted to continue to do things the same way, the world is changing, and it's like the sand's just coming right out from under our feet, which is scary, but also it's exciting. And just the fact that we have like a youth here in the congregation who can do a video. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Brianna's behind the camera making all this happen. That's exciting, and that's something that I don't know that we've done before. So that's neat. Just looking at ways like that to reach people. And so I think the state of the congregation, I would say that we are just ahead of a growth spurt, and growth maybe in numbers, but hopefully spiritual growth, and our ability to do the service that we feel called to do.
I think this is a question that everybody can chime in on. What surprised you about some of your group's research and findings? Who wants to start? Suzanne?
No. Well, I was surprised to see like just how much each of the commissions are doing. I think that was pretty impressive. I don't know if this is research, but I was surprised at how well this video is going. I really think we're covering a lot of the, the important issues that have come up in our conversation. So I think that was a fun surprise in this process. Mark, how about you?
I think it's been interesting to see the different perspectives of the different people, from Laura, who's been here all of her life, to Joanne, who has been here for several decades, to three members who have been here relatively recently, and how we perceive some of the things that we have talked about in this committee, how we have very different perspectives, say, on the vitality of the congregation, the gifts that the congregation offers. So it's been really interesting to see how what we bring to the table, really, from our different perspectives.
I'd say something I found interesting is we asked the staff to give us a list of things they do, and so I was just surprised that the vast amount of things Pastor Nancy and my mom and Andy do, certain things that are in their job description, but certain things that they do on the side and maybe aren't recognized for. So I think just seeing everything that our staff does really surprised me.
One of the things that has struck me is, as Laura said, the amount of work that is done by a few key people in the congregation or employees. And some of that, plus the work of the amount of work that is the responsibility of the various commissions, you can understand why people get tired. I've been there. And after a period of time, you just kind of get worn out. And that there's always somebody that who is willing to kind of step into the breach and kind of take over for a while. And I think we want to make sure that we are nurturing everybody that is working with us in the congregation, as well as using their gifts and talents so that we can continue into the future.
We have everything.
No, it won't be complete until we have input from other members of the congregation to find out how they feel about things, to find out the issues that they may have, and how we can best resolve, the problems that we find. I think, if anything, one of the things that we have found is that we need to have more communication so that it's all out on the table. It's all, out there for discussion so that we can go ahead and work together in improving things.
Mm-hmm. And we have some big ideas.
Oh, yeah.
But, this is our congregation with you guys, included, not our congregation. So we really value having you guys come on this journey with us.
I do feel really encouraged. Moments, we do have different opinions, this group. And I think the calling committee did a good job putting together kind of a mixed bag because, like Mark said, that it was interesting when we would talk about something, people would have totally different views of like the same situation. And that was interesting to see things, that I never even considered and not how I saw the situation at all. But that was good because I think that reminded us that everybody in the congregation is we have 40 people there. They had 40 different stories of what happened. So that was important. But along with that, as we talked through, a lot of the same themes kept coming up, and we really found agreement, I think, would you agree with that, on many issues. And so it became apparent to us that we really need to pull in the congregation and throw some stuff out to them, which hopefully we'll be doing soon in the future, and really get their sense, give them the information, and then just work with it, as a large group, because I think that holds true to our tradition too, congregational based. We're all ministers, and so being true to our heritage, being true to this congregation and our values. So there's plenty more for this group to do, but also I think our large task is shepherding the congregation through a process so that the congregation can come to some of their own real truths about the direction we're going to go in. We really do sound positive this morning, but I would say that that's really genuine. And that I also wanted to say that I think what was critical with our group, and I want to point this out because I think for me, it made a difference, that often we know that people are praying for us through this process, and that's humbling. That also holds us to task, I think. There were many moments where, you can jump in here, Suzanne, if you want, but I know that you remind us, look, when we got to a sticky point where we just wanted to kind of go home, we'd say, we've been called to do this, and we have a job, and that was your nice way of kind of keeping us back on track. But I also would say that that in our meetings, we would often just take some time together to either pray or be in silence, and that's not always the case in business meetings, but I think it was very helpful for me, and I felt a special connection with folks in this group that I don't think that I had before. So. Anything else you want to tell the congregation? Stay tuned.
Yeah, no, I think it's exciting, and you're right. We're not allowed to rehearse this, and it's genuine, and I feel really excited for sharing this with everyone, and so having everyone join us in this special space.